A couple of days ago, I talked about the banning of hundreds of Steam games due to payment processors not consenting to that, and the moral guardians throwing a hissy fit about it. They came for No Mercy, which I already talked a while back, and in that video, that game was still available on itch.io. It's gone now, and I found that out this week. And wow, that visual novel became a catalyst for the dark future ahead, because now there are even more games that got removed from itch.io. Right now, itch.io is the one who has to comply to the payment processors. Seriously, this is a classic textbook definition of a slippery slope. First, they go after the L site, which sells all sorts of Japanese stuff like visual novels, and I also talked about that as well. Then they go after legit manga companies. Last week, they went after Steam games, and this week, they went after all adult games on itch.io. Oh, and if you already bought those games are gone now. It seems that the payment processors also do not consent on you owning those games and would rather you, what did Ubisoft say again in their EULA? Uninstall and destroy every copy of the game. And you wonder why I always encourage people to learn how to sail the seas. I had no idea people cared this much for not safe for work content that they'd get this angry. You're missing the point. It's not about the content being banned. It's about how the banning is arbitrary and unjustified. I'm not exactly a fan of games where you exchange bodily fluids that you're supposed to waste and treat women as if they are literal walking, talking urinals. But there are definitely plenty of degenerates who are into that. And if you don't protect the rights of those people for enjoying their content because you find them disgusting, then you should not be surprised when the content that you like gets banned for being disgusting. There's a ton of incredible safe for work content you can jerk off to on there. The existence of viable alternatives doesn't dismiss the underlying problem. Yes, I always encourage finding alternatives, whether it be alternative websites, payment methods, alternative price tag, but it doesn't dismiss the problem of payment processors and moral guardians thinking that they are the moral arbiters of good and that they have a say on what content people can or cannot consume. Don't be fooled into thinking that PayPal, Visa, or MasterCard are the only ones who are policing what can or cannot be transacted. WHINES may have also joined the dark side, a team of payment processors that are concerned about what you're buying and not giving proper consent on those awful things you bought. This user has been using WHINES since last year because the conversion rates are better compared to PayPal. Unfortunately, the account was restricted and will be closed at 18th of October 2025, as there are strict limits to what we can support as a regulated financial institution. What was the thing that got WHINES very unwise? Lewd drawings. Oh no, how dare they, right? All these payment processors are seriously cracking down on adult content. The producers can't make money off of them, and the consumers can't pay for them. And yet, for some reason, this only happens to drawings of fictional characters. When you look at websites like OnlyFans and the kind of things that their payment processors tolerate, oh god, no! And that was on January this year. Honestly, what can we really do about it? While Bitcoin and crypto coins in general can be a viable alternative, it is still very volatile and risky, but it's the only one that doesn't have to comply to these dumb regulations. As more and more payment processors crack down on adult content, both the creators and the consumers should work on finding viable alternatives that do not have these strict regulations. But hey, restricting adult content from the whole store is one thing. This next supla is about restricting a whole region from adult content. There are reports of UK Discord users who vanished off of Discord, and the reason is because all those UK users have to verify their age before they sign in, thanks to UK's Online Safety Act, OSA. This requires all users to show your face or your ID to verify that you are of age when using Discord. Discord assures everyone that they do not permanently store identity documents or video selfies, and you can reapply if your age is incorrect. You will, however, be banned if you are under 13 years old. I can relate. Well, sucks to be you, all the UK users that value privacy and don't want to send your ID or face to the Discord corporation. All this to protect children browsing the internet. I guess if you really use Discord that much, that is something that you have to do, but otherwise, I think it's time to find another game chat software. That or use a game's photo mode, but this'll definitely not work in a couple months or so, and I really don't recommend faking your age. Oh, and Rule 34 is also banned. That's what we Indonesians Asians have been suffering, UK. Government oversight on websites they deem immoral. Looks like someone needs to invest on a VPN solution. Those are all the small updates in the payment processor hooplas, but we have plenty more other hooplas to discuss. If you like this video so far, don't forget to click the like button, comment, subscribe, and leave some tips through any of these means, including YouTube membership, links below. Thank you to all the sponsors this week. You're all fantastic. Do you have talents and skills? Well, if you do have them, then you have an obligation to share that to the world. Or at least according to this guy. If you're unusually smart or talented, your primary purpose in life is to help lift up others who weren't born or raised as lucky as you were. No, your primary purpose in life is to do whatever fulfills you. Where's this obligation to share your knowledge coming from? That is, unless my knowledge has a price. Do I have to quote the Joker for this?
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
Learning that sooner rather than later is important for developing a sense of altruism and communitarianism. Yeah, that sense of altruism and communitarianism does not come from telling people that lifting others is what they live for. Maybe those people just want to live and get paid for what they're good at. You don't exist in a vacuum. No, we do not. But that doesn't mean our obligation is to help people, unless that obligation comes with a financial incentive. After all, we don't exist in a vacuum. I too also need to get paid for my contribution to society. We are, as the saying goes, dependent rational animals. Yes, we are dependent on each other. That doesn't mean we are obligated to give away stuff for free. Helping others doesn't drag a smart kid to the middle. Actually, yes it does. You clearly do not value time because our time teaching those kids are precious and we're not spending them for free. This is why you should ask to get paid. With great power comes great responsibility. It's a simple, true statement. How profound of you to say that, except you miss the fact that we do not have superpowers to help people. Realistically, if you want my superpower, you'll have to pay me for it. And this is the same with everyone else. You do not get to control my generosity or altruism. To the extent being born with unusual intellectual power is an innate characteristic, that good luck means that you owe the universe hard work. You're born with a debt that takes a lifetime to repay. No, we do not have a debt to repay to society. Let me bring up the Joker quote again.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
Following up on Joker's advice, in general, you should not work without getting paid. If you want to work and get paid for it, you need to get a job. On that note, job interviews are getting weirder. One interview asked the person what their favorite drink is. I'm not quite sure why that question needs to be asked in a job interview, but that question was asked anyway. OP said water, and the interviewer said, "Come on, you can do better than that. I personally like a cup of latte, but if I want to cheap out, I'm perfectly fine with a cup of instant cappuccino. But even so, how is my favorite drink relevant to this discussion?" We just sat there and looked at each other for 15 seconds in silence. Yeah, that was awkward, wasn't it? Fun fact, I've been in the position of both interviewer and interviewee, and I can tell you for sure that interviewers are just human beings, and these people need your skills just as much as you need to get paid. If these people do not respect you and your time as a would-be employee, then it's pretty much best for you to not be associated professionally. That is, unless you are desperate for a job. By that point, you're gonna have to take whatever loads of BS that your employers give to you. That HR meme is accurate, as someone who is on the other side. Jobs are hard, and getting money is a lot harder. But there are worse advice than never doing what you're good at for free. This advice is nonsensical. Being cheap is terrible for your mental health. Hey, you know what else is terrible for your mental health? Being broke. Learn from my mistake, guys. I bought a Samsung S23 Ultra after I broke up with my first girlfriend, and that expensive piece of a phone fell into the water. It's fixed now, but it's on the possession of my current girlfriend's brother. Point is, just because you're at your lowest point doesn't mean spending loads of money is the wisest choice. Don't be afraid to spend money. You should be afraid to spend money if you're on the verge of being broke. Spend that $100 on DoorDash. Please do not spend $100 worth of DoorDash. Buy that $2,000 laptop. This one depends on your needs. For that money here, that'll get you an RTX 5060 laptop with an excellent CPU, but the VRAM is still 8 gig, which can be a problem on certain modern titles. You can also get an M4 MacBook Pro, which is definitely not necessary, and there's the Flickbook HP one that is way too overkill for the price. Point is, I know how to research my laptop prices, and I can tell you for sure that you can get a decent one under $1,000, even for gaming. $2,000 is overkill. Buy that nice $400 desk. No, you're not gonna need that. Trying to save every penny will result in you making significantly less money overall. No. Saving every penny will result in me saving all those pennies. What is this backwards logic? Money flows. Yes, money does flow, but only when you buy the right stuff and you know what to do with that money. While that person tells you to start spending money, this next hoopla tells you, well, this is an interesting advice. I know this is going to sound weird, but you just need to stop listening to women's opinions on what they want in men. Okay, so I guess my opinion as a man is irrelevant if a woman is looking for me, right? Just get on with whatever it is you're doing, and women will come to you. Yeah, no. What I'm doing is sitting in front of my laptop making videos online, doom scrolling through social media in my isolation at my own home with no one watching. If your habits are the same as mine, you're not gonna get a girlfriend. 25 is young. You probably aren't very impressive. Well, I'm 27 and I'm not that impressive either, but that doesn't mean you can't try dating at that age. Not saying that you should try dating, only try dating if you're interested in them. If you're not interested in dating, I'm sure you have perfectly good reasons. You are not a woman. Stop thinking like one and build some capital. What do you mean by build some capital? Self-improvement will only get you so far. If you want a love life, you have to ask them out. Plain and simple. It makes sense when you're single, you have to listen to women, especially if you're an incel. Even more incel stupidity here, and this one hits closer to home because my skin color is involved, and my ethnicity, I guess. It was never about the cologne. It's always about the face. No, not really. For me, it's my personality that repulses people. They find my apathetic and uncaring personality particularly unpleasant. Also, my face looks utterly cooked. Even so, I still managed to score twice in my life. So, to all the brown people out there is still hope for you as long as you commit to it. Like I said before, this post just makes me, and a lot of other people, feel utterly hopeless in the dating world. It's almost like it's a deliberate attempt to make people quit the dating world so that whoever owns this account have less competition. Even if that's not the case, it's not really helping to let people know that women are going to discriminate against you because of your skin color. And even so, they have all the right to do that in the context of dating. People can have their preferences, even if they are discriminatory ones. All we have to do in response to those discriminatory preferences is to have our own. Leave this person and find someone else. And that's all for the video today. Here's a cat. Don't forget to check out my previous videos here. Click the like button, comment, subscribe, leave some tips, just $1 down below. And thanks for watching.